Welcome to the 5 things underclassmen can do to kickstart your recruiting. My name is Julian Jenkins, and I'm a director of recruiting education at NCSA. I played football at the highest level at Stanford University in the NFL before coming to NCSA in 2009, and I help student athletes in their recruiting journey. I get a lot of questions from athletes and parents in the recruiting process, and one of the biggest things that we'll talk about today is grades and academics, getting your recruiting logistics together, camps and combines, what can be happening with college coaches, and how to be educated about the process. We'll start with one of the biggest things you can control, your grades. Academics can have a huge impact on where you get recruited, and here's why. Grades can impact several things. These include which colleges you qualify for. We all hear about top athletes each year that are at the top of their game, but they don't make the cut academically. Showcasing your academic progress can outweigh athletic talent in recruiting. So check to make sure you're on track with your academic progress and eligibility. Next point, how much financial aid outside of athletics you can get. I get this question all the time, and I answer it just the same. There is more academic funding to play college sports than there are athletic scholarships. There is more academic funding to play college sports than there are athletic scholarships. And finally, grades can impact your recruitability and how you match up against other student athletes. If a college coach is looking at athlete A versus athlete B with the same athletic talent, then they're going to want to track athlete A if they are on track more academically. The next thing you can do as a freshman is make sure you're on top of your recruiting logistics. You may not know the exact colleges where you're a good fit or where you want to be, so be ready for the recruiting process by starting to get everything you need prepared early. This includes starting to gather film for your highlights and skills videos. Of course, college coaches would love to see big plays against tough competition, but they prefer to evaluate you to see if your skills are pacing or outpacing your competition with video. Next, get your online presence ready for college coaches. Make it easier for coaches to find you through social media and third parties like NCSA. Let coaches know you're open to communication. Follow a coach, get a program to view and follow and track your progress. Coaches would love to be everywhere at once, but they can't. So you have to meet coaches where they are, online. I always say, get online so you can get in front of coaches, don't get behind your competition. Next, start compiling your list of colleges that you're interested in and find out who at those schools you need to be in contact with and you need to connect with. And you got to make sure you start thinking about what are your dream schools? What are the top regional programs out there that you're a good fit for? And what are those coaches looking for in particular in your sport? You may also start getting invites to camps and combines, and here's what to know. Be smart about what camps you go to. Is it worth your time and your parents' money? Whether you're just starting to get out there and get invited to camps, or whether you want to get invited to camps, do your research to make sure the events that you're trying to go to are a good fit prior to you attending. You need and you must email and message coaches online prior to the camp and post-camp, after the camp as a follow-up. Don't just show up. It takes time to build relationships and build confidence in recruiting, so you got to start understanding and proving that you can showcase your ability to communicate to make an impact. Let the coach know about your interest in their program, ask for feedback, and ask for next steps. And when you do go to a camp or a combine, introduce yourself to the coaching staff. Shake the coach's hand and make sure you're connecting with that coach. Camps are a great way to develop a one-on-one relationship and get to know the coach and have a coach start knowing who you are, start working with you directly and tracking your progress. Even though it's early, there's a lot that can be happening with college coaches as an underclassman. Let's talk about the most important ones. If you've ever wondered, how did this athlete get contacted by this college coach or that college coach? How did they get offered a scholarship as an underclassman? Well, guess what? you can contact college coaches directly. That means sending emails, following programs on social media, filling out questionnaires on the team's website, and more. The days in waiting on college coaches to find you are no more. You have to be proactive. You can also get indirect communication like invites to camps and combines, invites to come watch games in person, and visits to campus. And in some divisions, coaches can talk to third parties about you. We get messages at NCSA all the time from college coaches that are looking for underclassmen. They're trying to fill their future roster spots. So how do you get more information and get more educated about the recruiting process? And why is it important to stay on top of the changing landscape of the NCAA? Because your high school and your club coaches are not directly in charge of recruiting. You are. And it's not their job to get you an athletic scholarship. Now, let's be clear. It's great to have your high school and your club coach advocate for you. And they do know college coaches, but you have to build confidence. You have to learn how to advocate for yourself. So you've got to make the recruiting journey your own. Other people's stories may not be applicable to your situation. We all hear about the story of the athlete who gets an offer as a freshman and a sophomore, and we wonder, how did that even happen? What did they know, and what did they do to get in contact with those coaches? The NCAA rules and the recruiting landscape is changing quickly. So you want to make sure you have updated information, you make sure you're updating your information, and you get leverage and momentum in recruiting. Look, now I know the recruiting process can be very confusing, and a lot of you are just getting started. But if you start early and create a game plan that works for you and your family, you will have more success in the recruiting process, and you'll make sure you connect with the right schools along the way. I know you guys have a lot more questions, and so I want to cover a couple of things that I've been asked that I think would be helpful for you. First one being is, what mistakes do athletes make early on that hinder their recruiting as an underclassman in the process? And the first thing is they don't get on track academically, right? Getting on track academically, meeting with your counselor, registering for the NCAA, and making sure that you're taking the right classes can have a huge impact later on in the process in which schools you qualify for and which schools you're a good fit. The second question I get is, as an underclassman, why are college coaches not contacting me directly? Well, you need to make sure you're checking the recruiting calendar for that sport and making sure that you are in step with what those guidelines are for that college coach. But don't get discouraged. You want to be as proactive as you can. You never know what filling out a questionnaire, putting together an edited highlight video, or just being proactive in communication and with coaches may do in getting you invited to a camp or getting you invited to a game day visit or an unofficial visit on that college campus. And the third thing is from parents. You know, 8th grade, 9th grade, sophomore parents are so excited about assisting their athletes and what they can be doing. Parents, you need to be as informed as you can of what your athletes need to be putting online. You need to use trusted sources that college coaches are using to compile lists of athletes that they are inviting to camps, that they are tracking, and potential of awarding them a roster spot or a scholarship opportunity. Hey, thanks for watching. Those are the 5 things that underclassmen can do to kickstart your recruiting. Now, and those looking for more information, we at NCSA have premium memberships where you can search for colleges, get matched with the right colleges that fit your needs and preferences, and you can build a relationship with former college coaches that can help you develop a game plan, match you with schools, and make sure that you are on track in your recruiting journey. For more information, email us at webinars@ncsasports.org to learn more, and good luck.